Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have to address Meta. The company announced earnings and the stock skyrocketed by 12%. So we're going to talk about what to expect tomorrow and how you can make some money off of it. All right, so let's dive right into it right off the bat. I'm going to change this to Meta. Again, this is the topic of today's video. Let's look at it. All right, so Meta has been chopping along with the overall market for a while, between 220, 222, and between 208. All right, and as the price was approaching the earnings date, the contracts, again, we trade options if you don't already know that, the contracts were inflating and inflating, especially the at the money contracts. So is this move highly profitable for anybody who bought calls? I would say that the contracts will probably be up by around 40 to 50%, maybe a little more than that. All right, like a really massive move that can move all the way up to 250 would be where you would expect the 200, 300, and then some of the out of the money contract, like the further out of the money contracts, will be worth about 700 to 800%, right? But as of right now, like this is a massive move. Don't get me wrong, an 11% move is quite big, but it needed a little bit more in order to really see those gains, and I think we might see that. Now let's look at the details of the earnings report. So this is Google. Again, I typed Meta earnings right there. Let's scroll down to see how they've been doing. All right, now, as y'all can see, this is how it's been doing throughout the last 4 earnings. And this is the one that they just announced right here. So their APS was at 1.95 and it beat it by 13%. And they also had they also beat their revenue expectations by 3.57%. All right, so good earnings report, solid. I think this is going to, I think it's going to go a little bit higher. All right, but how is it going to do that? That's the main question. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now we're going to zoom out. We're gonna look at the daily. Now on the daily charts, there are some things to consider. We're gonna zoom on the left. And we're gonna zoom in some more right here. Yeah, so there is a gap starting from 243 all the way up to 322, which has to be filled. Again, if you don't already know this, 90% of all gaps in the market get filled at some points in time. All right. It's not obvious exactly when, but sometimes the chart makes it obvious by showing some clues. Now here is another gap right here at 226, between 226 and 231. All right, now let's go back to what's going on right now. So those gaps did not get filled during the month of April. Now let's dive more deeper into the 10-minute. All right, now right now we're right above it. Now my expectation for the price action of tomorrow, I think it's gonna go like this. It's going to chill out here. It's gonna open at around probably the same price, 233, and then it's gonna have a pullback first, just to take care of the gap at the bottom. So anybody who is interested in making money to the short side, like those puts are going to get annihilated. Like I'm talking like negative 90%, like right at the open. They're going to get crushed. Like the implied volatility is going to take a toll on it. And also the negative delta, that's, again, it went the wrong way. So those puts are going to get annihilated. So there's some opportunities to make money in the morning during the initial drop, right here between 33 and 27, depending on the value of those contracts. If they're worth like 100 or 150 bucks, those contracts during that specific drop could go up 100 to 150% within 20 minutes, I would say. All right, and then after it does that, it's probably gonna chop for a few moments, trap some greedy short sellers. Again, it's important not to be greedy. The stock crushed earnings, so there's a lot of people expecting some upwards momentum with the stock. A lot of people are gonna want FOMO in, especially after it gives them a chance to buy in at a lower price. So first day trading opportunity is from here to here, and then the next one is from here all the way back up to 35. It could go even higher, maybe at like 237 or 238, or maybe even 240. Who knows? All right, but just watch for that move. A drop first, consolidation, and then the move all the way up to around here. Now, I don't know when it's going to get up here. I don't know when the stock is going to go into the 270s and the 280s. It might need some time to do that. All right, but as of right now, that's what I'm expecting for Meta. I will be watching this one closely. I was a bit shocked to see a good reaction on it. I thought the stock was actually going to go down, like low, like to like 190 or 180, so that the overall markets can have a red day, and then Amazon can save the market by bringing it up. All right, now that we're talking about Amazon, let's look at the chart. Again, it's been a while, so let's talk about Amazon. All right, so this is Amazon, and Amazon moved in simply, I believe this was from the Microsoft move. Yeah, Microsoft earnings. That's what it is. The contracts are still inflated. They used to be worth like 70 cents a piece. Now they're worth $250. I'm talking about the at the money contracts. All right, and as it approaches, it gets even higher because of the implied volatility that is being pumped into those contracts. Now, this thing right here, again, we're gonna look at the daily. I'm not bearish on Amazon. Again, I thought Meta would collapse so that Amazon could kind of save the market and bring everything back up, right? But despite what Meta did today, Meta crushed earnings, that's fine. I think that Amazon is probably gonna do well. I wouldn't bet against the stock. Its current market cap is at exactly 1 trillion. So a pump, like a boost in that, wouldn't surprise me. Like a 10 to 15% jump would not surprise me at all with Amazon. And relative to the other stocks in the market, it's not as high. Like it had a run, it had a decent run. It went up by 25%. Like from the beginning of the year to now, it's up 25%. Other tech stocks are up 50, 60, even 150%. All right, so this one I would say is kind of lagging, and earnings might be the reason or might be the cause of it catching up with the other stocks. So I would definitely watch this one. Again, holding anything through earnings is 150% gambling. All right, I always say this. So if you're gonna do it, manage your risk. All right, I'm just sharing you my opinion. I think that it's gonna go up slightly, maybe to like 109. Oh, it's really gonna jump to like maybe 115. Again, that's just my thoughts on Amazon. All right, now let's talk about some other stocks. Again, y'all have been putting some questions in the comment section of my previous videos, especially the I am buying this video where I told you guys that I was buying coin for a long. Somebody asked about it, so I might as well just do a recap on it. Now with coin, the structure that I showed y'all in that last video, it was only 4 hour, and it was from here to here, a falling wedge on the chart. And I told y'all that I was watching this one for a move all the way up to 76. All right, but I also told y'all the video that followed after that. Again, the next video after that one, I told you that I got rid of it like the day after. Whenever I swing something, I swing it for, like, usually it's to get rid of it the next morning. Again, I try to take advantage of the morning run and then I just get rid of it. It's very rare for me to hold things throughout multiple days unless the structure is really, really, really good. All right, that was a fallen wedge, which is not really my favorite. The other ones, the other stocks in this sector, like Mara, for example, played out really, really well. That's something that I would consider holding for multiple days because the structure is one of my favorites. Again, if you've been watching the channel, you know how much I like this. All right, so this one held for multiple days and ran for multiple days. So, and it did its thing. I told y'all in that video, the I am buying this video, that Mara specifically was going to go to at least 10.50, at most 11.50. And that thing went all the way up to $12 before collapsing. And it collapsed for very simple reasons. Number one, it reached the top. Again, I told y'all, 11.60, and then it surprised us by going to 12. All right, number two was riots. And riots, Riot formed a double top at $14 on the 4-hour. All right, so the downtrend was imminent. And the sell-off that happened on Monday with coin was due to a fallen, well, it was due to a bearish triangle right here, which I did warn people about in the Discord. Like, I saw this thing on the 21st, and I said, a coin is breaking down. I'm not sure if it's real or if it's a bear trap, but it was there. Like, it was bearish. And I thought it would, like, in the best case scenario, this thing is supposed to fall. And it did fall. Looking at it on what happened on Monday, it fell along with Riot and Mara, and then consolidated. And right now it's playing this little game where it doesn't know exactly where to go, which is fine, because I think it's gonna have a little bit of a rebound. Because when I look at Mara, again, you have to like look at the other stocks in that same sector to find out the clues and to find out some hints about where the entire sector is gonna move next. Or you could just look at BTC, because BTC right now is up by 4.73%. It actually jumped within the last like 2 hours. So for this one, again, it jumped overnight, had a little move, and then it sold off in the afternoon, retested the previous level of resistance, or I would say support, retested that. All right, and this is kind of a good spot to expect a bounce, especially that the crypto market is up right now. All right, so with regards to Mara specifically, I think it's gonna go back up and retest $10.50 tomorrow. All right, so that's the updates for the people who have been asking about that. Again, when I swing trade, I usually swing trade for the next day, all right, or for multiple days, depending on the structure. The structure has to be really good. Now, here is an update that I'm gonna do on another stock. Let's talk about MU. And with MU, this one, I think this one is going to make a push higher. I made a video about MU on the, I believe on the 18th or the 19th, or yeah, I believe on the 18th. I told y'all to watch it for a drop to 58 because of this gap right here. It took its sweet time. It was kind of annoying, especially just chopping sideways like that. And then on Monday and Tuesday, it finally did its thing. It finally got here. But it took like a good 2 weeks to get there from the moment that I released. Well, yeah, from the moment that I released the video. Well, not 2 weeks, a week and a half. Right now there is a morning star on it. And I think that it's going to push a little higher. It might not be tomorrow. Like tomorrow, we might see some red, but it's probably gonna close as a doji like this, all right? And then maybe Friday we will see a continuation back up to $63. That's what I'm expecting, because I do think the indices are gonna be a little red tomorrow, just a little bit before we rebound. All right, it's kind of like what happened today. Today we started out red, we dipped until around like 9:20 a.m. Central Time before we bounced, and then we dropped again in the afternoon. So I think the beginning is gonna be a little similar for tomorrow. So that's what I'm expecting. So that's my thoughts on MU. Now the last stock, this video is gonna be a little long. The last stock that we're going to address, that stock is AMC. All right, an update on AMC for those of y'all who love the stock still. In a video a while ago, I think it was at around like $6. I warned you guys about this little gap at $4, and that eventually is going to fill it. All right, it didn't take too long to get there. It actually dropped within 2 weeks after I released the video, and it really got there in the beginning of April after a gap down and then formed an island gap reversal. And right now we're approaching earnings. I think it's going to, like, it's already super low. Like, how much lower do you expect it to go? So to me, I think the reaction is gonna be positive. They're gonna put out something, and the stock is going to spike. So just be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, expect the contracts to inflate in value. As we approach that earnings date, those at the money contracts will go from like 50 cents all the way up to $300 because of the implied volatility. So just be on the lookout for that. So yeah, that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks. And oh no. And that is the end of the video. Again, I gotta fix that. Do not forget to annihilate the like button for YouTube back with them as always. All right, helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you're new to the channel, do not forget to click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah with Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. I'm gonna fix that. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.